Hey everyone, Cyril here. Time to give you an update on what we've got going on with us. So we left the Switch It Up rally out of Spearfish, headed to Rapid City so that we could see our doctors and get upgrades done on Blue. We were upgrading the engine from 405 horsepower to 555 horsepower, upgrading the shift module so that we were no longer stuck in eco mode. We had the ability to go from performance mode to eco mode and back. And then we had a leak that was starting to form on the front cover of the front differential. So we had Volvo reseal that while the truck was there. After getting it into Volvo, they discovered that there was a recall on the DEF system, on what they call the one box, which is pretty much the entire DEF system on the output side of the engine, exhaust side of the engine, minus one sensor, I think. And since we had the opportunity to have that replaced and gain approximately a 4-year, 750,000 mile warranty on it, we decided to go ahead and do that. It just made sense. So Volvo got the rig into the shop and started the work. They requested that the one box be shipped next day air. And then while we were waiting on that, we found there was an issue with the shipping. The shipping company out of North Carolina put it on a ground truck instead of shipping it next day air. So that delayed arrival of that part. 4 days later, we checked on it. It was in Sioux Falls on the east side of the state here. Figured we'd have it sometime the next day. Checked on it a day later, and it was in Salt Lake City, not Rapid City. So Volvo called the shipper to see what's going on and found out that it was, what do they call it, misloaded on the truck. And so they have to unload in the order they get to it, so they had to go to Rapid City, wrap around, and then come back to, well, Salt Lake City, wrap around, come back to Rapid City, and then that was took another 3 days. So that delayed us a week. We finally got everything done and got the truck back on Thursday afternoon about 4 o'clock. We were packed up, loaded, and on the road at 4:30, and approximately 5 o'clock we had made it 22 miles, and we lost the front differential on the truck, leaving us stranded on the side of the road. After finding ourselves stranded, we checked things out. We found that we had no forward, no reverse, no movement. We were on the shoulder, but still about 6 inches into the lane. So I immediately called Volvo. Service department was closed. I got no answer. I called again and went to the parts department. I managed to get a hold of one of the parts guys. He got the service manager for me. And after talking with Jordan, awesome guy, he immediately got 2 tow trucks dispatched, one to tow Blue back to Volvo and the other to get the trailer towed back, get Lightning towed back to America's Campground so that we weren't stuck on the side of the road. After talking to Jordan, we did some more looking, and I found that if I used the axle interlock, I could get drive to the rear axle, and we were able to pull around the corner from where we were at into a parking lot in Hermiston, South Dakota, and get off the highway so that we were safe. Okay guys, I owe you an apology here. I recorded all of this while we were out there, but when I got it onto the computer, there was absolutely no audio with it. I don't know what went wrong. I have spent the last 2 hours trying to work on a talk over with it. All I'm getting is repeating and skipping audio that is almost non-understandable. I don't know how to fix that. So what I'm going to do as a workaround is I'll give you some video here with me talking, and then you'll have some silent video of what we recorded, and I'll just jump back and forth. So hopefully that will give you a usable video. After getting into the parking lot, we talked to the towing company, found out that they would be about an hour before they got there. So we went into the saloon at the parking lot we were in, had some dinner, And then after dinner, the tow trucks arrived shortly after we were back outside with the rig. Their original plan was to pull blue from the front, but to do that they had to pull the rear axles so that they're not spinning the driveline or the transmission. They spent about a half hour working on that with no luck. The axles were frozen and weren't coming out without heat. So plan B was to pull blue from the rear and get it up, suspended from the frame in the back, so the rear axles were off the ground. That made me a little nervous. Those of you who have been following the video for a while know that the very first welding that I did after school was to put that 28-inch frame extension on the back of the truck. And honestly, I've been keeping an eye on it for the last year because with having very little skill level, I was super apprehensive about how that was going to hold up long term with the 4,000 pounds of the pin bouncing on it as we go down the road. Everybody that I know that is a good quality experienced welder has told me that all my welds look good. I will not have problems, but I was still nervous. I mean, I'm a new welder. Anyway, so they picked blue up from the back. They towed him 22 miles back to Volvo with the 12 to 18,000 pounds of the rear of the truck bouncing on that 28 inches that I added on. Good news, there are no welds, no cracks, and I'm a whole lot more comfortable now about towing the trailer on it. Apparently people knew what they were talking about and they said my welds were good. Anyway, I'll take you back to some recording and then we'll come back again. Unbeknownst to me, thankfully Mary was also doing some recording on her phone, so we do have a little bit of video with audio-ish. Anyway, so here's what Mary recorded. And then here's a little more of what I recorded that night to wrap that up. So the next morning I went into Volvo, checked in, took them the key because we locked it up that night out in their front parking lot. Service manager went out, looked at the truck, and found something that I had missed the night before. That being that we had gears sticking out the side of the differential case. So I went out and got you a short little bit of video of that so you can see what we were dealing with. And here that is. Volvo got blue into the shop on Friday morning. Spent the whole day tearing down the differential to figure out what was going on and why it came apart on us. Got a call from the service manager late in the day on Friday just before closing. He said that first impressions are that the differential was run with low or no oil, and since they had just done a reseal and refilled the differential, this appears to be on them. We will know more after we look into it deeper, but this is his first thoughts. I've always been really impressed with this dealership, and I'm even more impressed. Kudos to TransSource here in Rapid City. I don't know very many shops that will step up and say it looks like we messed up and this is going to be on us. So hopefully, from my side of it, it does end up being covered by them. Again, we'll know more on Monday. We don't know exactly what's going on yet, but first impressions, looking at it initially, looks like it was something that either the tech got pulled away and then when he came back forgot to fill the oil or something else. We don't know. People make mistakes. I'm not worried about it. This is going to delay us another week. We're 4 to 5 days to get parts. I'm guessing we'll probably be on the road for Texas early next week. Not this coming week, so you should get an update next Sunday on where we're at and what's going on. Again, kudos to TransSource here in Rapid City. I give them 2 thumbs up for integrity and honesty. Awesome shop. If you have a Volvo and you're in Rapid City and need work done, I highly recommend them. Even though it looks like they did make a mistake, they're stepping up and doing it. And again, I want to apologize to everybody for the audio on this. I have no idea what happened or why I had no audio, so this is really kind of a, in my feeling, a messed up video, but it's what I could do and how I could make it work. And so with that, we are out, and we will see you guys next week with some updates.